No! You don't tell me what to do! Never!
It was really late at night. I heard my mom and my dad arguing. It just sounded really angry. And my mom, she sounded scared.
Valerie Navarez was a daddy's girl. At 5 years old, she'd never heard her father yell before, and never would again.
I came out of my room. I peeked around the corner and kind of was looking through the door. And I saw my dad with a gun, and he had it pointed to my mom. And he started shooting. And I didn't know if he was gonna hurt me too. I was really scared. And I ran back into my room, and I just hid under the bed until I didn't hear anything anymore. And I took my flashlight and I just kind of looked around, and I didn't see them. The only thing that was left was the blood. And I don't think I understood what really happened. I was still expecting them to come back for me.
Police followed the trail of blood to a nearby ravine where they found the body of Valerie's mother. Later, her father took his own life. Meanwhile, Valerie was moved out of state to live with her mother's family, which wasn't easy.
Nobody really knew how to act around me. And I feel like a lot of people just took out their anger on me because I think I reminded them of my dad.
Flashbacks and nightmares followed, along with lots of questions.
I wanted to know why my dad would leave me like that. And why he would hurt my mom. I was so angry. I felt really depressed. I was just always sad. Kids would tease me about not having my parents. My dad was crazy because he killed my mom. I remember thinking, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to live.
By the 6th grade, she had started using drugs and drinking alcohol to numb the pain of abandonment and betrayal. Soon, she started having sex, hoping that would give her the love and acceptance she longed for.
I didn't want to keep feeling alone and just empty. I felt empty.
Then at 16, she had a baby girl.
It felt like I was going to be able to have something of my own. And so I stopped drinking, I stopped doing drugs, and I just wanted to be the best mom that I could.
After being a single mother for a couple of years, Valerie met the man she'd marry. Knowing that they'd need help as a young family, they started going to church.
We decided that we needed to go to church if we were going to make it. And they would always ask for people to come for prayer. And I remember just crying, just feeling a release.
But Valerie was still holding on to the pain, anger, and disappointment of her past. Then finally, after spending many times in prayer, she decided to trust Jesus and let it all go.
And I just remember going to the altar and just crying and saying, okay, God, I'm ready. Whatever you want me to do, whatever you need to take from me, whatever I need to do, I'm yours, I'm ready. When I gave my life to God, I felt like I had the best father. Like I had a dad that would never betray me. I just had the assurance that everything was going to be okay. It was like he was telling me, like, I never left you. I was your father the whole time, even when you were by yourself. I've always been there with you. Like, you're not an orphan.
Afterwards, Valerie was diligent in reading her Bible.
God began to do a miracle in my life. He began to take away the anger. It wasn't an overnight process, but God had restored my life. He gave me everything that I needed.
Later, her husband walked out, bringing back familiar feelings of betrayal, abandonment, and loneliness. It was a very difficult season for Valerie, but ultimately she came through it, trusting God more than ever before.
I just started praying, and I started fasting, and I started spending my time just getting closer to him. He always heard my cry. He was the only one at rock bottom. Just like he says in his word, he overcame the world. He's been there too. he overcame all of that, and he's gonna help us to overcome everything that we go through.
Valerie is now happily married to Ricardo and owns and operates a clothing company called Overcomer Apparel. She never misses an opportunity to tell people about the love of Jesus Christ.
Jesus is so good. He's so good. You can cry out to him and he'll hear you on the instant where you're at. He can take a murder-suicide, he can take a divorce, and he can turn it all around, and he can still work it for your good. If God could change my life around, if he could give me hope, he can do it for anybody.